Hey, Molly.
Hi, Susan. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you. I'm so glad this is finally happening.
No, it's really lovely. It's so exciting. I realized, of course, I looked at what I planned and I was like, oh, I picked way too much music. There's not that many hours today. But if things run long, I'll be sure to, I won't make it go forever.
Well, I don't know. Michelle, you just want to kind of clue her into, if she needs to stop, or we can run over a little bit. I mean, you've got other things to do too, I'm sure, Molly.
Well, I don't care. I'm fine. But Michelle, do you need me to end exactly at a certain time? Like, do you have to do announcements before? So if we go over to like 1:05, it's okay?
Yeah, we often go, sometimes we go as late as 1:15.
Okay.
Yeah, Susan, you're on the schedule for the wrap up. Are you up for that?
Sure.
So just kind of what it feels like.
I'm also going to introduce Molly, right?
Right, yeah.
So, but the wrap up, I mean, we just thank Molly. Is there
right.
particular you want me to do, or?
No, and so Molly, whenever you hit a finishing point between 1 and 1:15.
Brilliant.
I think.
Great.
Yeah, first I was going to talk between each song, and then I was like, that's going to be eternal. So I'm going to do it by skipping and then like let it play for a while. But
it's on my phone if you need to. It's 1181.
If there's any is that Rita? It's Rita.
Yes, hi.
If there's anything wrong with the playback, I mean, I know it's kind of, it can be glitchy for different people depending on their internet, but if something is really wrong, like there's no sound, just yell at me. Like, just, do whatever you can, however you need to. Yell at me if I somehow don't hear you, I don't know if you guys have the chat function enabled.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Although actually, if I'm sharing my screen, if I'm sharing a video, I can't actually look at the chats. But if something's terribly wrong and you're like unmuting yourself and being like, Molly, it's not playing, and I somehow don't respond, you can also call me. I'll have my phone right on me.
Okay. That number you just called me from, is that your cell phone?
Totally.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
do you want
to stay? Michelle, will you be staying during the program, or will you be leaving?
I'm going to stay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Should we allow people to unmute themselves? Do you want any interaction during the program, or?
I think it's best if we don't, just because I then often have the problem where people, if they unmute to ask a question, then they forget to mute again, and then everyone's yelling at each other. So what I would say is,
background noise.
At the very end, though, I'll unmute, and anyone who has any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer questions or talk about something or explain something. Okay. So yeah, I would say once I start, everybody should mute themselves just so we don't.
Yeah.
Right. But I do think it would be very nice for you to give some little introduction to the pieces.
Oh, I'm going to. Actually going to. What I'll do is I'll group them by ensemble. So what I'm going to do is I'll introduce the women's ensemble pieces, and then I'll play a few, then I'll stop and introduce the university chorus pieces, stop, then I'll introduce the pieces that they do together, stop, and then at the very end, if I have time, I'm going to play some of our remote collaborations from the spring. I'll talk about that as well. What does it mean for a choir to go remote, So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And you've got some of your music from all over, from Georgia, from South Africa, from...
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to this.
Me too. This is actually, I've never done anything like this before, and I feel like it's so time we do things like this now that we're going to stay in, remote.
What do you mean you've never done anything like this before? You're doing good.
I'm used to teaching remotely, but I'm not used to this idea of sort of negotiating what it would mean to adapt a concert program to a Zoom call. Usually I'm talking endlessly at people for a really long time. It's great when I'm not allowed to do that. I feel like the world needs less of me talking endlessly.
You've got very interesting things to share with us. So
a few,
I think we're going to probably have a nice turnout for this, I hope.
I'm excited. It's, you know, it was lovely. I think a conductor's worst nightmare is actually having to listen to recordings from past concerts. That's like not something we ever want to do. But I had to in order to figure out which recordings came out like good enough quality wise, because all of these were recorded with my phone. These are not professionally done. Like this is like I asked some poor schlob in the audience to just hold my phone, you know. So I had to like see which ones had like candy wrappers being unfolded in the seat next to it, and like who was coughing during which time. But I was actually, it was a really lovely thing to sit and like actually listen to all of the recordings and be like, wow, we get a lot done in such a short time. Man, that's rough.
Are you going to explain that about the recordings, or should I? Okay.
You know what? And if I forget to, yell at me and be like, Molly, tell them really quickly about the recordings. So
well, if you don't, I will, because
yeah, you can interrupt me at any time and be like, Molly, tell them about the thing, because I'll forget. Okay, this is
and we're recording this, so Emily's going to listen to it in Shanghai.
So great! Oh my God, that makes me so happy.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here looking for a tissue in my purse, and I instead almost pulled out a mask to put on. But I feel like
can't sing with the mask on.
Yeah, not so much. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a tissue.
Sure, take your time. You've got a few minutes.
You know, it's only been 5 months of doing this. You'd think I would have learned to keep a tissue box on the table, but you know.
Yeah, well, and to always have a mask in your purse, and half the time I go out, I have to go back for my mask.
I know. Yeah. The best is when you rant for hours about other people not wearing masks, and then you realize you just forgot to put on. You're like, I'm that.
You know, there's just so many things to remember. I can remember my eyes and my ears and my teeth and my mask.
And nowadays, I mean, you have to remember to put pants on. Like, you know.
You're right. Like, I'm not gonna stand up.
No, really, like, I'll be teaching on Zoom, and it's not like I'm not wearing pants. It's just that I'm not wearing nice clothes necessarily.
Exactly.
Pajama bottoms, you know, and then like someone comes to the door and I forget that I'm wearing, you know, Snoopy pajama pants. Professional talk.
Everyone talks about their Zoom shirt.
Oh yeah. I had to give a speech at a big political event, and I was wearing this like suit on top and the Snoopy pajamas on bottom, and realized at one point that I should remember not to stand up during those meetings.
Well, Emily let her son go off to school in his pajamas one day because, you know, he didn't want to change it.
All the kids who end up coming to school in princess dresses every day, like, you know, what are you gonna do? Pajamas and princess dresses together.
Yeah, sure.
We were worried. B kept wanting to wear the same dress every day for like.
Aww.
But at least it was a nice dress. And it was funny. We went to see a neighbor, and I was embarrassed because B was wearing the same dress every day. And I was like, they're gonna think we don't have any clothes, you know. But then her child was wearing a princess costume and a bathing cap. And I felt better. And they're like, you've been wearing to school every day. I was like, okay, it's not so bad.
So I got to get my cheat sheet out so I say everything I want to say when I introduce you. Yeah.
Hi, Molly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm starting grad school in a couple of weeks, so this is a nice break from working on my resume and doing orientation videos.
Oh my God, that's exciting. Wait, where are you going to grad school again?
I am going to the Fletcher School at Tufts University out in Boston, but I am online for the fall, so I will be in Fort Wayne, Indiana on my laptop.
Right.
Oh. So, Molly, you have some of your singers with us.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's really great.
It was really funny. I'm like, come hear yourselves sing. That wasn't
Come hear what
yeah. That's really wild.
Yeah. There's Diane.
Yeah. So here's Terry. You've been communicating with Terry.
Michelle, let me know when you want to start.
Okay. Looks like there are a few more people connecting.
think a child just ran through here.
Which one?
B.
Oh,
Thank God Lenny's asleep.
you can let her sing for us.
Oh, she will. She will.
How old are your kids?
How old is Lenny right now?
Well, B is 4.5
There's
and
a problem with my Wi-Fi.
is 1.5.
Every time.
One and a half.
Hi, Molly.
Hey, oh my gosh.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, whoever is saying hi, something is covering.
Oh, Nancy, how good to
Hi.
see you.
I'm glad to see you too.
Hi, Nancy.
How are you, Susan?
We missed you in Hyde Park.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's very sweet. I miss Hyde Park. I do. And what am I doing down here? All this crime and looting and everything, you know, in my fancy neighborhood, right?
Come back to nice, safe Hyde Park, huh?
Right, nice safe Hyde Park.
Noticed it happened when you moved to the neighborhood, Mom.
Mhm. They knew where they were. Hi, Elisa. Hi, Cesar. Oh, hello, everybody.
Michelle, I'm just wondering that we ought to sort of have a quick introduction to the fact that Molly has some of her singers with us, as well as community members and village members.
Sure.
Do you want to?
Yeah. I think
where's Barbara?
I lost Barbara. Oh, here's her ceiling fan.
I was troubleshooting Terry's internet. He's having an
Okay.
Okay.
So, are we ready to start?
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
Okay, but did you hear what I just said?
Who's
No.
this Agamemnon?
You're breaking up.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you.
Okay. We have a number of Molly singers with us, as well as
wondered about the
community
name.
members. So it's just, I wonder if we might just sort of say a welcome and.
Quite.
Yeah, we are going to say welcome.
Oh.
And you can welcome the singers when you introduce Molly. How would that be?
Okay.
Okay. Does that work for everybody?
Sure.
Okay. So I want to welcome everyone that's that's joined our drop-in this afternoon. I'm Barbara Norish. I'm a member of the program committee, and we've been looking forward to connecting with Molly to learn more about what she does and experience some of her singers. So I want to welcome you to the drop-in today. I'll be turning it over to Susan in a minute to do introductions, but I just wanted to mention that we have a special program coming up on September 9th about how to select a medical alert device. And this is going to be at our regular drop-in, but we have our speakers from California, and he'll be presenting via Zoom. He is a co-founder of Tech Enhanced Life, and he's done a very thorough review and testing of the available medical alert systems. And so it's going to be an unbiased presentation of what kind of medical alert systems are out there, how they work, and why one might even want to have one. And so it is listed on our website on the calendar. And I just want to let folks know that it says that if you're not a member, we were asking you to register for the event only so we can be sure that you get the Zoom link for the program. But our members will get the Zoom link in the regular email that Michelle sends out on a regular basis. So I just wanted to explain that. So again, welcome everybody, and next.
Yeah, I was just going to mention real quick, the next drop-in we have at the fourth Wednesday in August is going to be a photography presentation by Spencer Bibbs, who's another local person. And that's all I have. So I'll hand it off to Susan to introduce our special guest for today, Mollie Stone.
It is my very great pleasure to introduce you to the very talented Mollie Stone. Mollie and I started talking about this program pre-pandemic January. And her idea was to introduce her singers to residents in Hyde Park and the community, have us get to know more about what she does at the university and the music available there. And then that didn't happen. and so now we have the program today. And I'll mention that much of the music that we will hear has been recorded, not necessarily for showing in a situation like this. It's on a phone. during a concert, you may hear gum wrappers being unwrapped and so forth, but we're still, we're in for a treat. Mollie, of course, many of you already know Mollie. She grew up in Hyde Park. She went to school. She was with the children's choir here. Then she went off to Amherst for college, to Westminster Choir College for her master's, and a PhD at Northwestern. And now, lucky us, we have her back. She directs the university chorus and the women's chorus, but she also teaches and directs choral groups all over the world, including the Village Harmony and the World Women's Chorus in places like South Africa, Georgia, the Middle East, Bulgaria. Mollie, you can mention some of the others, I think, when you talk about the music. So we are in for a real treat today. Thank you for joining us, Mollie. Oh, one other word. Welcome to, I see we have several of Mollie's singers with us, and we're really pleased to have you join us too. So it's not quite the way we plan to introduce each other, but maybe there'll be other opportunities. So, Mollie?
This is just the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Well, thank you all so much for letting us take part in your meeting today. It's really, obviously we're in very strange times right now. And when we never really had any chance to plan for a pandemic in terms of making concert recordings. So as Susan mentioned, these videos, none of them were planned. They were literally times where I just asked someone in the audience to generously hold my phone and record performances. So these are not professionally made. There will be coughing and people unwrapping candies and things, but I'm still really pleased with the fact that someone could just hold my phone and take and capture these recordings from our concerts. These recordings are all from concerts right before, I was gonna say the downfall of COVID, but that is what it's starting to feel like. So these are from two different concerts, our fall concert and then our winter concert. And what I'm going to do so that I don't talk the whole time is just introduce these in segments and then play you a few songs, and then I'll stop and talk about the next set. So the first songs that we're gonna play for you are by our women's ensemble. All 4 of these recordings were done in our fall concert, which was in November in Rockefeller Chapel. The first song is called Dolce Dio. It's an Italian lauda from the, a lauda is sort of vernacular sacred song that was popular in the late Middle Ages and early part of the Renaissance. And the poetry is really beautiful. It's about a God who loves you rather than judges you. And what's cool about this particular song is we had 2 source recordings that we could listen to. One was an entirely classical version and one was an entirely folk version. And so we had to sort of find a happy medium. The song after that will be a traditional American folk song called Go Into the West. After that is a Greek folk song called Xenitia tu Erota, and that's about nature being interrupted by the fury of the gods who get upset when a beautiful girl leaves and goes far away and breaks the heart of a boy who is waiting for her. And because of this, the springs dry up and eagles cannot drink water. And then the final song in this set that the women's ensemble will do is called Vorbice Verbo Zelena. It's a traditional Goranian song about St. George's Day. The Gorani are a Slavic Muslim ethnic group that inhabit the Gora region, which is in the triangle between Kosovo, Albania, and North Macedonia. So you'll hear very different vocal styles for each of these traditions, and I hope you enjoy. And I'll talk more about what's to come after. Each song will have a little introduction page so you'll remember which one is coming next. And I ask, there will be time for questions at the end. If you can stay muted during the showing of the videos, that would be wonderful. So here we go. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Here we go. I'm actually going to open this up. Dolce Dio,
In this fair land, I'll say no more. Here labor is in vain. I'll leave the mountains of my birth and seek the fertile plain. I am going to the west. You say you will not go with me. You turn your eyes away. You say you will not follow me, no matter what I say. I am going to the west. 3 years have passed since we first met, since you became my bride. Now I must journey far away without you by my side. I am going to the west. You say you will not go with me. You turn your eyes away. You say you will not follow me, no matter what I say. I am going to the west. I'll leave you here in this land you
So that's our women's ensemble segment from the fall, where I'm now going to show you 5 songs by the university chorus. And these are taken from both the fall and our winter concert. They're in no particular order. The first is a beautiful 19th, turn of the century, 19th, 20th century piece called Beati Quorum Via by the composer Charles Villiers Stanford. And that is all about the path. Blessed are those whose ways are blameless and who walk according to the law of the Lord. After that is a beautiful song about nature called Iminezolile. It's a Xhosa South African folk song by a dear friend of mine, Bongani Magatiana. Bongani both composes in the traditional folk genre as well as in the classical realm. And so this is one of his classical works. And it's all about the beauty of nature. It sounds like Brahms became South African. It's very interesting. After that, we're going to shift. You'll see us moving from Rockefeller Chapel into the Logan Center for our winter concert. And these will be a series of songs from our winter concert, which explored the theme of Psalm 23. And not every song is an exact setting of the Psalm 23 text, but it explores different themes that are mentioned in Psalm 23. And so I'm gonna just talk briefly. So for Psalm 23, just a rendition. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And our first setting of that will be a Hebrew setting by the living composer Judith Shatin, Adonai Roi in Hebrew. After that, we're going to do a piece that sort of responds to some of the themes in Psalm 23, but in a more political lens, which is called Lady of the Harbor by the singer Joe Jenks, arranged by the ensemble Windborne. And that is all about contemplating what freedom means to us today. And then we'll end this little set with Virgil Thompson's My Shepherd Will Supply My Need. So here is our university chorus portion of the concert. Oh, wait, before I do that, I'm going to mute myself.
Young
So that's our university chorus portion. And now we have both ensembles together. It's quite a feat to try to get 200 plus bodies onto the stage in anywhere, really. But it's always a really interesting task during the winter quarter, because we have a joint performance, and trying to find ways to combine ensembles with different voicings is always, it's a little bit tricky, but it's becoming more and more fun over time. So the next little portion of songs is going to be the two ensembles together. The first piece we're going to sing is Come Unto Me by Bernice Johnson Reagan of Sweet Honey, formerly of Sweet Honey and the Rock. And then a South African setting of Psalm 23 in the Sotho language. And the song is called Kinali Modisa. And it has a great version of the translation. It's not the entire text from Psalm 23, but I'm going to read it just because I love it. The translation is, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. His name is Jehovah, the ever-living God. He leads me to green pastures, food that gives me life. He leads me to the small rivers, waters that quench my thirst. Enemies can hate me, I am still feasting. My cup is overflowing, I am living happily. And then after Kinali Modisa, we'll head to the Republic of Georgia for an interesting medley of songs. Khanshi Shesulo and Rashovda. And in Rashovda, you'll see some pretty awesome traditional dancing by two of our members, who I think are on this call. Maybe they'll dance for you in the background. And then we'll end with, I'm gonna sit at the welcome table, and I encourage all of you to sing along. If you don't know it, you'll know it very quickly. Here we go. I'm gonna mute myself.